Right, the hard left Marxists are coming for ordinary people from left, right and centre. First, they came for comedy. Then they came for our statues. Then they came for people who don't kneel. And now they've come for the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab. As you know, yesterday the Churchill statue in Westminster was finally freed, at least temporarily, because of Emmanuel Macron's visit to London. And there's been a lot of debate in there about this. So we're going to talk about what Dominic Raab did this morning, because it's actually quite interesting. And also, we're going to talk about the return of Remainers. Yeah, the Remainers are back. I've missed them. So Macron is visiting. Dominic Raab had an interview this morning with Julia Hartley-Brewer on Talk Radio and a couple of other outlets. He expressed his views robustly about the Churchill statue and kneeling. First, because Julia Hartley-Brewer asked him, was this a government decision to cover Churchill? And Dominic Raab revealed that no, it was actually, in fact, Sadiq Khan and the London City Hall.
In relation to the boarding up of Churchill, the Prime Minister was absolutely clear. It's ridiculous. But that was the authority of the GLA, the London Assembly, and the PM have made very clear, particularly at a moment where President Macron is coming over to pay tribute to the cooperation that de Gaulle got in France's darkest hour from Churchill, that we should be proud of that. And more generally, I think we shouldn't airbrush our history in relation to the Rhodes Statue or Oriel College. I think it's right. There's a lawful and democratic process for deciding what...
Yeah, he's absolutely right, because from the beginning, the central government did criticise Sadiq Khan for this decision, but the power was in Sadiq Khan's hand, apparently. That was the situation. But the whole situation continued because Dominic Raab was very good and he was on point. He was criticising the BLM movement and the Marxists, and he was very brave when he was asked whether he would kneel or take the knee. He said no.
Feels to me like a symbol of subjugation and subordination rather than one of liberation and emancipation. But I understand people feel differently about it, so it's a matter of personal choice.
So would you or wouldn't you do it?
Take the knee for two people, the Queen and the Missus, when I asked her to marry me.
Just finally, let's talk about the future just very briefly. Brexit, Emmanuel Macron.
By the way, she disputes that. I had this conversation last night. I'm sure I did, but we'd obviously had too much champagne at the time. But I'm certain I did.
We'll check with her next time we
Okay, firstly, I do like his answer. That the only two people who would take the knee for was the Queen and his wife. He had a good couple of hours in the morning. Everybody, ordinary people supported him. But then the crazies from the left started their attacks and their movements up to a point where, again, a small minority of a group of hard left crazies forced him to make a U-turn, essentially. So my guess is Downing Street made him send out this tweet to surrender and give up. He said, let's be clear, I do have full respect for the BLM movement and the issues driving them. If people wish to take the knee, that's their choice, and I respect it. We all need to come together to tackle discrimination and all that. The problem was the beginning of that sentence, and I'm guessing this was quite, well thought, because this is at 11:30 in the morning. A few hours after the interview, the press team had enough time to think about the perfect wording. This is weak. Why would you do that? So the problem is, he wanted not to be divisive, but all he had to do was essentially tweet saying that, of course, I believe that Black lives do in fact matter like any other life. Go with the cause, not the movement. He supported the movement instead of supporting the cause. That's the problem, because the problem is the movement. Because they don't care about equality. It's just a front for communism. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, because for a couple of hours Dominic Raab was seen as a hero, and then he came out and sent out this tweet. And again, my guess is it wasn't him. He was made to do this. This is the problem we have when a group of a minority crazies force people. Now they're forcing politicians, they're forcing the media, they're forcing companies out there, brands, to do what they want to do. This is not how things should work in this country. Now, talking about people who try to force others to do something, the Remainers are back. Yes, the People's Vote campaign that was destroyed just before Christmas because they gave up the battle. They said, well, we're losing, guys. Brexit is happening. Let's go home. They're back. Why? Actually, I don't know. Because they've changed their name to Democracy Unleashed. I'm pretty sure democracy was unleashed in June 2016 when we voted to leave the EU. So these guys have come back. So for people who don't know the history behind this People's Vote campaign, let's go over the timeline. So back in October 2015, Britain Stronger in Europe was founded. This was the official Remain campaign. And in April 2016, they became obviously the official campaign. And in June, they lost the referendum. And then in August, Stronger In changed the campaign's name to Open Britain. And initially, back in August, their main message was, Brexit has happened. Now let's lobby politicians to make sure that we get a good Brexit. Or, what they wanted was, like, as they say, soft Brexit. I really hate that term. So that was Open Britain. Then they realized, well, this is not good enough. So 2 years later, in 2018, Open Britain changed their name to People's Vote and asked for a second referendum. And then in May 2019, every party that endorsed People's Vote lost the European elections. In July 2019, Labour changed their Brexit position to backing People's Vote. And in November, People's Vote campaign collapsed. And then December, they shut it down. And now we are in, June 2020. With everything we've gone through, they're back and they're called Democracy Unleashed. What are you guys doing? Seriously, I don't understand what the hell is going on. And it's not just that, because they're actually back on the streets as well. We just had yesterday Boris Johnson leaving Parliament, and a number of Ramona protesters, including Steve Bray, the Stop Brexit man, were outside causing trouble, and there was a bit of a collusion. So yeah, that was the Prime Minister's car, and they tried to stop it. I don't know why. What was the plan? You were going to stop the Prime Minister's car to do what? You can't open the doors, like it's locked. It's stupidity. So I'm guessing, I believe the guy has been arrested. I don't know what they're actually fighting for at this time, because the extension to the transition is not happening. Brexit has already happened itself. This Democracy Unleashed, I have a feeling this is the front for their new campaign, Rejoin. That's all it is. And the Liberal Democrats are also back. They tweeted, this is going to slightly different to Brexit, but this is brilliant. They tweeted more than 50 Lib Dem politicians. Where did they find more than 50 Lib Dem politicians? They don't even have 50 politicians. So this is in the opposition to the Foreign Office merger with the Department of International Aid and Development. They don't like it. It's bad. Cutting bureaucracy is bad. Simplifying and making things efficient is bad. So somehow they found more than 50 Lib Dem politicians to write a letter to the Prime Minister. Why? And then the thing is, like, the people's votes were primarily Lib Dems. But then you had some Labour people as well. You had our beloved, most competent mayor, Sadiq Khan, also part of it. The guy who just came out yesterday with a new stunt, a new PR stunt. He's loving it. He's loving life. So he's done a pay cut to show that he cares, because we've been attacking him for months, saying that you're wasting a lot of money, your salary is too high, you're hiring a lot of PR people for no reason, and you're just throwing money around. This is taxpayers' money. He's given himself a pay cut, but let's look at the story, because it's not really true. Because he has launched, obviously, a new PR stunt announcing that he has taken a voluntary pay cut of more than £15,000 in an attempt to balance London's finances. £15,000 will not balance London's finances. Do you know why? Because his salary is £152,000. This is £20,000 more than what the Prime Minister gets. Yeah, and a cut of 15,000 is still basically more than a PM salary. And yeah, it's a 10% reduction. It's meaningless. And under his watch, staffing costs for the city have risen by 82%, from £36 million to 65.5. And yeah, what's the point of this? Does anyone actually care? And this is the actual graph that Guido Fawkes has created. Look how much they've been spending since 2016. It's gone up. I don't really know, because they've been cutting the frontline services as usual and blaming the central government and the Tories. At the same time, they've been hiring all these bureaucrats in City Hall. All these people have to go. Why do you need them? There's no need. I was actually, because I live near City Hall myself, and I went for a walk. I met a couple of people who were raising concerns about the issues in London with the mayoralty, but also just general stuff with everything that's been happening with the hard left on the streets. A big shout out to Justin, one of the subscribers who came and said hello yesterday. Thanks for coming to say hi, Justin. Hope you're well. Yeah, he obviously mentioned a number of things that was very important about what's been happening with the hard left, with the crazies on both sides, and he's absolutely right. And London also needs to be fixed. This is the main message. But for now, let's focus on the positivity. Brexit's happening. Dominic Raab had a 2-hour kind of good moments kind of day. And we're still going after the BBC, because the BBC has to go. Get your t-shirts. The link is in the description. Defund the BBC. Cancel your TV license and watch this channel instead. It comes in various colors, also various genders. We got male, female, and everything, and different sizes as well. So make sure to check out the link in the description. Our latest merch after the free speech and the Brexit one we did a few months ago. Hope you enjoyed today's content. After this video, we have another special video about wokeness, and we do have a guest, Raheem Kassam, who's obviously one of the top British commentators based in America. I'm sure most of you know who Raheem Kassam is, so make sure to tune in at 8 p.m. for that video. If you want to support the channel, become a member by checking out the link in the description, or going on youtube.com/mytc/join. We have a lot of benefits. We've got live Q&As, we've got Zoom video calls, we're going to have events soon, and yeah, a number of other things. So make sure to check out the link in the description. I'm MyTC. I'll see you guys at 8 p.m. with Raheem Kassam.